Yes, people, and welcome back to another video. Liverpool Football Club are 4 wins away from becoming champions of England once again. And I want to talk in this video. I feel like people are disrespecting Liverpool again, and I'm going to give my reasons why and why that shouldn't be the case. We're 4 wins away from the Premier League title, and you got people talking negatively about Liverpool. There's Liverpool fans talking negatively about Liverpool, and there's rival fans, of course. Jealousy is a big thing in the world, and there's a lot of jealous people in the Premier League and around the world wishing that it wasn't Liverpool winning the title, but unfortunately, we are going to win that Premier League, and some people are going to have to hold humble pie because a lot of people at the start of the season, so Liverpool will finish fifth, sixth, fourth. They're going to fall off a cliff. I remember watching, I think it was Pitch Side, saying, yeah, Liverpool are going to collapse. The club, Liverpool are going to collapse. I think collapse. Yeah, collapse, falling off. Yeah, no more Jurgen Klopp. People criticise FSG. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm FSG out. I want them to do more for Liverpool, but they're not stupid people. To be fair to them, in recent times, when it comes to appointments and making big decisions, ultimately at times they have got it right, and they've got it right again with Arne Slot. They got it right with Jurgen Klopp, and when it comes to Michael Edwards, they've got that right as well. And obviously, time will tell with Richard Hughes. But for Arne Slot to come in this first season and win the Premier League it's a surprise, but it's not a surprise because this team was challenging last year. People seem to have forgotten that. We fell away with 5, 6, 7, 8 games to go, and I feel like everyone knows this. Jurgen Klopp football is styled to be built over 38 games. That team couldn't do 38 games. One, due to injury, tiredness. We just looked leggy and lethargic towards the end of the season. But this season, the work Arne Slot has done he's come in, he's made a couple of tweaks. He's not drastically changed everything at the football club. He's just come in, just twinkled a couple of things. Why change things if it's not broken? This Liverpool side wasn't fully broken. It just needed a sprinkle bit of magic. And that's what Arne Slot has done. He's put that harder work and graft in that first 4 or 5 months of the season, and that is a big reason why we are going to go on and become Premier League champions. People say, "Oh, we've not played well in 2025." Have we lost a game in 2025 in the Premier League? Can anyone tell me? No. I believe in the league this season, in 2025, I think we've only dropped 4 points. United, we dropped points. Everton, we dropped points. I think it's only those two sides we've actually gone and dropped points too. And obviously, yeah, we know we've lost in the Champions League and the FA Cup and Carabao, but in the league we've only dropped points. I believe four points in 2025 for a team that's not played that well in 2025. A lot of people would say, but I still think we've had some really good performances. Manchester City away was a quality performance, and it's up there with the performance of the season. We went away to Bournemouth, one of the most informed sides in the Premier League at the time, that was beating Manchester City, beating Arsenal, battering Nottingham Forest by 5-0, and that's the side that's going to go on and get Champions League football and potentially finish third in the Premier League. Liverpool went there and got a 2-0 victory and kept a clean sheet, barring the open miss. Liverpool were by far the better side against Bournemouth. Yeah, you could argue at times we maybe rode our luck in certain games. I think Wolves was a really good prime example. We probably should have, a draw probably would have been a fair result in that game. But ultimately, we got over the line, and the squad still has the mentality and the physicality to get over the line. And there's a big reason why we are going to get over the line. Do you know what I mean? You look at that Premier League table. People saying it's not a quality season. A lot of people are saying now. Okay, name me the last time where in the possible top 10, all sides could possibly get Europe. Bournemouth could possibly get Europe. Fulham could possibly get Europe. Brighton, Aston Villa, Chelsea, Newcastle, Man City, Forest, Arsenal, and Liverpool. 10 sides in the Premier League all competing for Champions League, Europa League, Conference League. When was the last time where the top 10 were all competing for that? Okay, the only one I'd argue is the relegation battle. The relegation battle has obviously been, crap. But then people will talk on Man United and Tottenham, but they've been bad for some years now. And that is credit to the other clubs. Your Bournemouths, your Fulhams, your Brentfords on improving and not wanting to stay in mid-table, wanting to try and push for European places. Do you know what I mean? So this whole narrative that, oh, it's been a bad season. Please tell me how a Liverpool side could possibly get nearly upwards of 90 plus points, 93, 94 plus points, what could be possibly one of the best point tallies still in the Premier League. It could probably easily be in the top 3, top 4 best point tallies in the Premier League history. But it's a bad Liverpool side. Okay. Yeah, that just completely doesn't make sense to me. Like I said, you've got 10 teams competing for Europe. When was the last time? Please tell me when was the last time? And the only reason the relegation battle is so bad is because we've seen now the money in the Premier League. You're up against it from the minute go when you've come up from promotion. It's very hard to come in and become sustainable in the Premier League now, and that is due to the competitiveness. Hence why a lot of people thought Brentford would go straight back down, but they've been in the Premier League for some years now, and they've actually been competitive in games, and they comfortably stay up in the league by every year by 10, 15, 20 points. So this narrative, it's been a bad season, this narrative that this Liverpool side isn't good. And I want to speak on the outgoings now. People are now talking about next season, understandably, of course. People are acting like Liverpool are going to go and sell all their team. The players that we're going to sell in the summer are players that don't start for Liverpool Football Club. Your Harvey Elliott's, who barely had minutes this season. Kelleher will be off in the summer. Kelleher only starts for Liverpool if Alisson's out. And we've got Manavashvili coming in. Simicast will be sold in the summer. People are saying we can upgrade in the left back position. So we're going to improve in one position there. The left wing spot in Luis Diaz. People saying we can improve there. Luis Diaz, I think, will be sold in the summer, and we'll go and improve there. Same with the striker. Liverpool are not going to sell all these players and not replace them. They aren't stupid. We are going to sign a left back. We're going to sign a forward. I'm not saying we're going to go and spend 300, 400, 500 million and get absolute world-class players like Isaacs of these world. I'm not saying that. Liverpool are going to go and get a forward or two, a left back, and those positions where it's cost us the season. So if we can automatically upgrade in those positions, like your left back role, Andy Robertson's have been an absolute beautiful servant to Liverpool Football Club. He's a legend of Liverpool Football Club. But at times this season, he has costed us. Fulham at home, prime example. We have 11 men, we win that game. Right? At times he's costed us this season. If Liverpool can go and get a really good left back like a Kirkus, who's been one of the best young talents in the league this season, that's already a plus. Same with the striker role. If we can improve on a forward in Darwin Núñez who can put the ball in the back of the net more than 5 times, that's already a plus. So that's already improving. Then if you can keep your likes of your Virgil van Dijks, your Mo Salahs, who's the main core of this team, your Alisson Beckers, your Gravenbergs, your McAllisters, if you keep all them, there's no reason why this Liverpool side won't drop off again next season. And people want to use, and also I want to say another thing, people use the inexperienced. He's only been a manager for a couple of years, Mikel Arteta. If you're doing that narrative, Arne Slot's only been a manager for 7 years, and he's about to win his second league title. Coming in, he's replacing one of the greatest managers in Liverpool's history. Arne Slot deserves load of credit. Loads of it. He's also had to deal with the media, the constant pressure about Virgil van Dijk, Mohamed Salah, Trent Alexander-Arnold, all signing contracts. Every single press conference, every single post-match interview, he's getting asked those sorts of questions in comfortable positions, and he's dealt with it like a proper manager should. And utmost respect for him for that. He's going to keep improving as a manager. He's not scared to take risks. He's not scared to implement his game. He's not scared to change his in-game tactics, because there's been plenty of times this season where slots in games tactics and the ways he's been able to implement games has won Liverpool points. And he's going to keep improving on that with the more experience he gets. We're using the experience narrative. So this narrative that Liverpool are going to collapse again next season. And look, if people haven't learned from this season, when Liverpool have only lost one game all season, that's up to them. And to be honest, we lost against a really good Nottingham Forest side. It's not like we lost to flipping Southampton away, was it? Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, people need to give this Liverpool side a lot more credit. If Virgil van Dijk and Salah stays, 21 league titles we're already favourites for that, in my opinion. There's no guarantee that Manchester City are back. There's no guarantee Arsenal can really improve from what they're doing. Do you know what I mean? So I could understand if we was competing against prime Manchester City. We don't know what Manchester City are going to be like next season. They are going through a rebuild as well. Same with Arsenal. They need to rebuild in certain positions. In the striker, you could argue they probably could go and get maybe improve in certain positions in the midfield department, especially. They need to go and probably add some more depth as well. So every single club has got to do business. And if Liverpool keep the main core and go and get a left back and a forward line and a couple of more little players, there's no reason why this Liverpool side won't be challenging again for the Premier League title next season. And also the final point, this narrative of it could have been a special season. It is a special season. We're about to equal Manchester United on Premier League titles. I'm about to see Liverpool win the second Premier League title of my lifetime, and I'm going to be able to celebrate that. So, yeah, if you said to me, 5 years, you get 5 league titles, but it's only 5 Prems, or 5 years of Champions Leagues and a couple of cups as well, I'm picking 5 Prems every day of the week. The Premier League is the first choice on everything. Then it's everything else. Simple as that, and it's always going to be like that. Smash a like, subscribe, people. On the road to 800 subscribers. Let me know what you think. I do think Liverpool are disrespected in some sense by the media and certain rivals, but they are ultimately 4 wins away from becoming Premier League champions once again. Take care. Goodbye.